Hey y'all, so I wanted to talk about becoming selfish because I realized in this journey that it's definitely an important part of the process. Like, it's definitely something that we have to do, even though we evolve so much and we become so about the collective and we become so about helping everybody. Um, you can't help anybody before you help yourself. So, just like, when you're taking a plane ride, if you ever sit in those, emergency exit seats, or even like period just on the plane itself, how the flight attendants, they say like when the air mask comes down, if there's a situation with the plane, they're like, put your air mask on first, like before you even try to help anybody, before you try to do anything, put your air mask on first. That's the same thing with the spiritual journey. How can you help anybody if you don't first help yourself? How can you help anybody if you don't put yourself first? And then I think that putting yourself first, ultimately, like, you want, once you get it and once you got it and once you have this relationship, you ultimately want everybody to experience it. So then it starts becoming about the collective. Then you start feeling other people's energy. Then you start feeling, like you can help other people. But how can you help anybody if you don't help yourself? And we've spent way too much time like focusing on everybody else. We spend way too much time like caring what everybody else thinks and focusing on their feelings instead of our own. Every time like somebody's asking us to do something, we're doing it whether we want to or not. We got to stop that. We got to stop it. Like, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. I know it's family, I know it's friends, I know that it's people that we care about, but it's no point to do something. It's no point for somebody to ask you to do something that you don't want to do and you say yes. And then you spend the whole time while you're doing what they asked you to do mad because you didn't want to do it. And you didn't say no. And all you had to do is say no. It's okay to say no. And I know that it's our family and it's our friends, our loved ones, only like the people that you care about, that you can really get up under your skin, but you have to just turn people down. You have to stop saying yes to everything. You have to stop being compliant with everything everybody has to say and ask you to do, or feeling like, you know, everybody's relying on you. So anytime somebody asks you to do something, you just have to say yes, because they're always going to keep asking you. They've been asking you and they're always going to keep asking you to do stuff. And it just comes to a point where you have to like really become selfish, because the journey is very individual and the journey is very like you and the Most High, you and Source, you and the universe. It's just you guys. It's very individualized, and it is very selfish. Just, I mean, I know we hate the word, but I think we put a bad connotation around the word. Like, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. That's what you have to become. You have to just become selfish. Like, you have to put yourself first. You have to think about you and your feelings at all times. And we have to stop letting other people come into our energy field and change our energy, because that's what loved ones can do too. That's what, I mean, typically it's not a stranger. Once you get to this point of elevation and once you start to control your emotions and your energy, it's typically not a stranger that's going to come up to you or say something to you or do something that's going to get you out of that energy that you had, that takes you into another energy that you don't want to be a part of. It's typically going to be friends or family. It's going to be loved ones. It's going to be ones close to us that are able to ruffle our feathers, right? So you could be having a great day, high energy, just as high, you feeling just as good, and then it's like a spouse or a child or a parent or a sibling or somebody else says or does something, or their energy is off and they're around you, and it's allowing your energy to be displaced, right? Because most of the time it is people around you and it's our loved ones that are able to do that or stir up different emotions and energy in us. But even with family, I mean, if we got to cut some people off, we just got to cut some people off. If we have to, I mean, that's why people in the journey end up in solitude, end up by themselves, end up like alone, because they have to become selfish. They have to put themselves first. They have to learn how to do that. They have to learn how to make sure that nobody and no one and no circumstance or situation can allow them to, like, allow no circumstance or situation to be stronger than you, allow them to change your energy, allow them to make you feel differently. Like, the only thing that you have control of in this whole universe, right, is how you respond and react in your energy. That's it. We can't control anything else. And since we can't control anything else, let's just control what we can control. And what we can control is our inside, our internal feeling, our internal emotions. That's the only thing that we have control over. And we can't let anybody change that, right? We have to stand on that. And that's why I become selfish. That's why it's like, I'm not gonna do it. It's not. It's just putting yourself first. So where other people may look at it like, dang, well now she not doing this, or dang, now he's not doing this for me. I can always depend on them to do whatever I ask them to do, and now they're saying no. Well, I mean, that's just, everybody is in this journey by themselves, unless this is a child, a minor child that needs something as far as clothing, food, or anything like that, and it's your responsibility. We're not responsible for other grown people. No matter how much we try to assist, no matter how much we try to accommodate, we're not responsible for other grown people. Grown people are grown people. They need to be grown. So I know it's a lot of us out here that are the foundation of your situation, your household, your family unit, and a lot of people depend on you. And I understand that. But there comes a point in time where you have to put your face mask, your air mask, your, what I'm saying, oxygen on first. You have to. How you gonna help somebody else? You over there dying. You helping somebody else survive, by yet you're dying. Okay, that don't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Let's be logical. Let's put our survival, equipment on first before we try to help somebody else survive, because we'll be more equipped. It's just the benefit of it. If you put your oxygen mask on before you try to help somebody else, then at least you can breathe. At least you have the energy and the fortitude to actually help that person, to actually get them through whatever it is that they're going through. But if all of your energy is depleted, if all you do is help anybody, you don't set time for yourself, you don't recharge, how do you adequately help anybody else while you sitting there suffocating, while you sitting there can't breathe, while you sit there with no energy, while you're sitting there on low energy? Like, how do you effectively help somebody else? So the more selfish we become in this situation where we're like, I gotta focus on me, I gotta make sure that my feelings are good all the time, I have to make sure that my energy is good at all times. It's so crazy because you become so selfish, even in helping people, because there's so much self gratification that you get, and you're like, of course you're helping somebody. Like, people, like I said, they call me all the time, like, for guidance and like to talk through certain situations and circumstances, and I'm helping people all the time. But I can observe and not absorb. So in the beginning, at first it was like, I can't even really help anybody right now because I was an absorber, meaning they had like all of this energy going on, all this displaced negative energy. Then they come calling my phone, they talking to me about it. I'm trying to help them through it, but I am absorbing their negative energy. Like, I feel it in the inside of me. It makes me more intense. It started giving me a little anxiety, things like that. As I'm on the phone with them, I'm like, this isn't helping me. Like, you have to be built up first. You have to be able to handle helping people, right? And then when you get to the point where you're just observing and you're not no longer absorbing the people's energy, that they're bringing to you, then you can really start to help them. Then when you do help them, it is almost selfish too, because the immense self gratification that you get when you help somebody in this journey, when you see that you're talking to people about the journey and it starts clicking, because you can't wake anybody. You can't like tell them in their religion and they're in their whatever that, this is your way, and or try to convince. That's not happening, right? Because nobody can convince you otherwise, just like you can't convince anybody in their religion otherwise. Like that's dead. That's not happening. But once somebody is already starting to become aware of how energy works, become aware of how the universe works, become aware that they are a co-creator in their reality, and actually start moving in that direction, then you can help them, because they're listening. Their ears are open at this point. They're intrigued. They want to hear it. But you can't beat a dead horse. Like, you can't, like they say, you could take the horse to the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Like, you can talk people about the universe and energy and personal relationship and how it works and how to manipulate energy and how to be a co-creator in the universe and for their reality. But if their ears aren't open, it's going in one ear and going out the other. That's just like somebody trying to tell you that you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're not doing it right, that you're supposed to be doing this, that, and the third. And you already know nobody's convincing us of anything else. We already know that this is it for us. And so it's the same thing, right? So the self-gratification that you do get when you are able to help somebody that has their ears open and they're like seeking you for guidance, and they're seeking you for clarity, and they're seeking you for better understanding, the self-gratification that you get once you've helped is still, in my opinion, it's selfish, because it's like I already know when they call me, it's like I'm trying to help them, but the whole time I'm like, ooh, I can't wait till I get this self-gratification at the end of this call, because the Most High is so rewarding. Like, it's immediate gratification. Like, I don't know, at least for me, when I help somebody after I get off the call with them, or after whatever, it's like I get an abundance of like just this great feeling that the Most High gives me, of like gratitude and like overwhelming abundance of just positive energy. And it's just for me being me. It's just for me talking to you, telling you just, my experience, telling you just, the things that I'm going through. And then to see like, people's reaction or calling me, that I do know that watch my channel, and just like, oh my gosh, it's really been very helpful to me, or put in a comment, like, it's just been really like clarity, or good advice, or anything. It's just self-gratification, right? I get self-gratification. I get gratification. I'm so grateful to the Most High. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it just fills my cup. It fills my cup. So even that, in that sense, even though I'm helping somebody else, I'm getting something from it. Everything that I do, I get something from it. It's a very selfish, it's very like self-gratifying, even though you help other people. And then when you get to that point, it's like, yes, it's still very, you're not doing it with the intent. You're doing it with the intent of helping people, but you get so much gratification and you feel so good from it. You get that self-gratification from it that it all ends up being about you at the end of the day. The whole journey, every step, everything, it always ends up being about you. So if you could just for once in your life, just become selfish for a little while. I'm not even saying it's not even going to be indefinite thing. You're thinking of it the wrong way. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. So if we could just get selfish for just a moment, just put yourself in a cocoon, just figure out what works for you. Just spend some time focusing on yourself. Say no when no feels right. Say yes when yes feels right. But don't dare say yes when it feels like no. Don't say No when it feels like yes. And no when it feels like yes, it's just an opportunity that you're turning down, not facing your fear. And saying yes when it should be no means that you're going to have some internal turmoil that you're going to put yourself through for no reason when you could have just said no. No, can't watch those kids. Nope, can't take you there. Nope, you can't borrow no money. Nope, 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 nope. You can't, I can't do it. No, I can't. I'm not in a position to, whatever it is that you have to say to make yourself. And then, let me say this too, because we do this. When we get selfish, we're going to stand on that. We're going to say no when no feels right. When we don't feel like doing something, say no, you can't do it. But don't beat yourself up about it. Because I had to kind of get through that too when I was working through this process of like putting myself first and like stop worrying about everybody else and trying to help everybody else. And like, no. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna put me first. I'm gonna worry about me, and then that is ultimately gonna help everybody. That's ultimately gonna help the whole collective. It's gonna help the whole entire world. Just for me focusing on me and getting my shit together, it's gonna help the entire world by you doing this, honey. So start focusing on you. Become selfish for once in your life, just once in your life. Just spend some time on you. Just do things that feel good to you. Just focus on what makes you feel good. Focus on what makes you feel great. Focus on making sure that no one comes into your energy field and changes it, because you're too daggone powerful to allow anybody to come into your space and change your energy. And if that's going on, we need to change it. If that's going on, I mean, if it's continuously being, every time I'm around this person, then I'm feeling this way, then maybe you need to change being around that person. Maybe it's time for you to let that person go. Maybe it's time, and I'm not saying that you can't love somebody from a distance, but maybe they don't need to be right there in your space. Maybe you just need to separate yourself from that person and give yourself some distance from that person so that you can become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And then, I mean, it's either like your energy is strong enough where it's going to, for the people around you, it's going to make them be like, I don't even want to be here because like it's uncomfortable around you, because that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be that their energy is so strong that it's changing yours, and now they're dimming your light. Now they're coming in and they're suffocating you. They done came in there and took your daggone oxygen mask off of your face, just right there in front of you. No, we're not doing that anymore. So at some point, we just got to become selfish. At some point, I know it don't sound good, don't sound pretty to the words of the world, but maybe we should change that word, because I really feel like that's what you have to do. I feel like it just has to become a point where it's all about you, and it has to become a point where it's all about your energy, and it has to become a point where it's all about your comfort and your relationship with the Most High, universe, source, whatever you call it. It has to become a point where it's just you and source, direct connection. That's it. Take everybody else out of the situation. Say no. Say no. It's okay. It's okay. Don't do it. You don't want to do it. Don't do it. You don't want to go. Don't go. You don't want to give. Don't give. I mean, it's point blank simple. And then when you make that decision, you have to be comfortable in that decision that you made. Don't say no and then go around and think about, oh my gosh, you should have said yeah, or blah, blah. Because trust me, the person that you said no to, they moving on to the next. They're going to ask somebody else. They are right. They are all right. And then every time that I've done it and I went back and circled back, they was fine. They got everything they needed. It won't for me, but they was okay and they got it. So at the end of the day, I was fine. They was fine. It all worked out. But what we got to stop doing is we got to stop doing things that are going to just give us internal turmoil. If you're going to do it with a smile on your face. If you're going to do it and be happy about it. Don't say you're going to do something and then be mad while you're doing it. That don't make sense. That's your fault. Stop doing it. Become selfish. Put yourself first for once in your life. I promise you it's going to pay off. I promise you it won't last long. Next thing you know, it'll be about the entire collective. It'll be about strangers. It'll be about It'll be about helping so many people other than yourself, but it will still always bring you that self gratification. It will always still bring you pleasure and peace and comfort. It will always still be that for you, even though it becomes about an entire collective. It becomes about people you've never even met before, never even seen before, never even talked to before. It'll become about all of those people, like all of my beautiful souls that I come out here and talk to. I don't know y'all, but I'm so grateful to be talking to y'all. I'm so grateful for the connections I'm making. I'm so grateful for everything that's transpiring. I'm getting so much self gratification, but I know I'm also helping somebody in the meantime. Every time I come on here and make a video, it's because I've gotten something like in my meditation to share with you guys. But I be so grateful. I be so happy. It be about me. It be about me, y'all. I just be sharing it with you guys, and I know it's helping you guys. And then when I hear that it's helping you guys, it's still about me because I be feeling great. So it's okay to become selfish. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay. Okay. All right, beautiful souls. I love you guys. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.